We're here.
Hi. So thank you. Welcome back. I'm Chava. This is Ask Chava. I am a clarity coach and expert in Chinese astrology. And this is an experimental video. I'm here with Kara. Kara, I'm sorry. I see it written all the time, but
Yeah, true. It is Kara, but
okay.
I respond to Kara. Like I love them both. I really do. So
Okay, great. So I'm here with Kara. Sorry, I should have asked that before hitting record. And we are going to do a live coaching session so that all of the people who have asked me what I actually do will hopefully have a better answer than just me trying to mumble along and explain in a couple sentences what it is I do. That explanation is coming along, but in the meantime, we're going to offer some visual prompts. My cat is also loose in this room because she broke her way through the door. So hopefully that will be quiet. So Kara, could you tell us a bit about yourself?
yes.
Why you're here?
So well, I'm here first of all because I did a session with Hava already, and I was like, oh, and by the end of it, I was like, oh, there was just a lot of like waking up and just understanding all that. So I'm excited to see whatever happens today. I am a coach as well. I'm working to find my niche. I'm focusing on millennials and just wanting us to like wake up and get excited to change in this new world. So that's a little scary, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it together, holding hands. And I think, I don't even know what I want clarity on. I think I feel a little like I don't know what my next official step is. So I'll leave it there and maybe we'll see what comes up.
Okay, great. All right. So you said you don't know what your next step is, but do you know where you're going in the end? Like, what's the destination?
So I know where I'm going. Oh, not quite. Maybe that's where I have like some visions of if I want to build, like a dream team. It's like what I would call it, because like we're literally like a team of dreamers that are just like deciding that things are going to get better, and then we're going to activate. So I want to like really like a community. It would be so cool at the end of the day. But I think people need some coaching to get there, because I know I did.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy to be that person.
Okay, cool. Because I think a lot of times when people don't know what their next step is, like a lot of times the reason is because they don't actually know where they're trying to go, which makes it very hard to tell like which path will take you there. And then sometimes there's just, they have an idea of where they want to go, but there's so much overwhelm that we can't pick out like what the next thing is, or
Yeah.
we have too many ideas and too many things we want to do. So yeah, so there can be a lot
of ideas. And I'm trying to like I'm trying to honor that a little bit more, because I think I'm just always going to have a lot of ideas, but knowing which ones to act on and at what time, and just to like relax about it would be so nice. I'm a little overwhelmed.
Okay, that absolutely get that. All right. So have you ever done something like a free journaling, like listing of everything you want to do? Like I want to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah. I've got a lot of lists, but then I
Okay.
like just keep doing that exercise, and then it's
Right.
like the lists.
Yep. It seems like a good exercise for, oh, here we go. Hi, MJ.
Yay.
Hi. Yes, you're in the way. I know it's your life's goal. Yes, it is. MJ never has any doubts about the next right thing to do.
It's time to be on the desk. So here I go.
It's time to be on the desk, because we've got a good view of like the pigeon on the electric pole out the window from the desk.
I
All
love
right,
that.
as long as she doesn't knock anything over. Okay, so one of the things that I see when I look at your personality chart is that something that will really help you when it comes to being more in balance and being more yourself is really connecting to what your values are. Because you've got like all of this creativity, and you've got a deep connection to yourself and your inner truth, which are both beautiful, beautiful things. But when we're so creative. It can be, like you said, you have so many ideas, and they might all be really good ideas, and they might all be things that would be great if someone did, but you can't necessarily accomplish all of them all at once.
Yeah.
And so you need to like connect to your ability to prioritize and sort and say like, this is what's actually important to me.
Yeah. That makes sense. I that kind of keeps coming back up for me. Is that, yeah, just defining what my passions truly are
Mhm.
versus just like what I want to see. Like I have one shift that I've tried to make is like when I have an idea for something that I really want to do, it's like I know that I just want to have it. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna manifest that I find that someone else is doing this already, and then I'll see that. But until then, I mean, I haven't quite nailed it down.
Mhm.
I really appreciate that though, because I think it's, yeah, I know my boundaries and values are like so connected. So like knowing what I need and want will like shape it.
Mhm.
But what can I mean, I've known this for a while, right? Like I
Yep.
know, but I don't like know what to do about
Okay,
finding
so
my passions.
all right, so here's one thing. I I'm not necessarily suggesting you do this exercise. I did it and it nearly killed me. But so this isn't like from the world of coaching, but this is a story that was going around about Warren Buffett, um, where I was told this is true by someone who does a lot more research than I do into like whether newspaper stories are true or not. So apparently, one time his private airline pilot had a couple minutes meeting with him and was like, "Can I ask you a question?" And Warren said, "Sure." And he said, "How do I become really successful in life?" And Warren said, "Okay, so take a piece of paper and a pen and write down your 30 dreams. 30 dreams, 30 passions, come up with 30 things that you want to do in this world." Okay, he does. And he says, "Now circle the 5 most important ones." And he goes, "Okay, that's a little harder, but like we narrow it down. Here's the 5 most important ones. These are the things." And he's like, "Okay, now take a different colored pen and circle your next 5 most important ones. So 6 through 10. And he goes, "Okay," takes a different pen, circles 6 through 10. And then Warren Buffett says to him, "So you know what you should do now?" And he says, "I should put all of my energy and effort and focus into the 5 most important things that I want to do or the changes that I want to make in the world." And Warren Buffett goes, "Yeah. And then in my spare time, I should work on the other 5." And Warren Buffett goes, "No, the other 5 are things that you are not allowed to do ever. Because
Oh
these are
no.
the things that are going to distract you. These are the things that like you could get sucked into so easily because you're passionate about them, but you've already decided they're not priorities."
Wow. And the other 20 are just like,
The other 20 is just like, if you get around to it, sure, but like
that's
anything
funny.
like 11 and down on your list of priorities, you're probably
Like
not getting
maybe on
to,
a
but it's
weekend.
but it's not as big a danger as like number 6. Um,
Okay.
and so I've done that a lot of times. And like I said, it nearly killed me. And I've like the first couple times I did it, I was like, I can combine these 2 things and make it like one concept, right? And then I can fit them both on the list. But
Yeah.
I got rid of 3 hobbies after doing that. And I like those hobbies, but I'm happier now.
Right. Wow. Okay. I think I already know what's there. No, I'm not gonna guess. That's sad in advance, but it's okay. It's okay. Because we got things to do and
And
I want to do them.
yeah,
So
and
thank you.
you're welcome. So what I did when I did that is I told myself, so like I stopped doing I grew up in like this household that was very crafty. Like my mother spun and she sewed and my sister sews and I learned how to weave and I learned how to spin but really badly. And I can like card wool and shear sheep and all of that got on the like all of those creative hobbies made it in my 6 through 10 list. And so for years, I told myself, when I retire, I'm just going to have a fiber studio, and that was like my consolation. It's like I'm going to make a lot of money, and then I'm just going to retire and do this stuff. But at this point, I've stopped saying that because I don't ever see myself retiring. I'm just so into talking to people all the time,
Yeah.
and So maybe I'll reach the point where I end up talking to people while spinning, like the little old ladies that my mother would sit with. But
You could hold a spinning group and everyone's spinning and you're talking, and it's like,
yep.
life is like a spindle. I don't know. No, it's awesome. Yeah, prioritizing and looking at it and like being honest about it, I think is going to be something I need to do this week. I've been having too much fun. No, that's not true. Never too much fun.
Fun is great, but yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like fun isn't really that fun when it's distracting us from what we know we should be doing, because we always have the voice in the back of our mind. So if you're really having fun, that's great. It's a sign that's what you should be doing right now.
Something to think about. You're right. I just feel like I want to go make my list now, so I'm distracted.
I know. I can see that.
Like, doesn't get back in the call. Okay.
We can make this a short call. I have one more thing I wanted to be sure to tell you, and then you can go off and make your list if you want, and we can get back together at some other point.
Tell me the other things, distract me a little, and then we'll see what happens.
All right. So the other thing I wanted to be sure to tell you, and I'm telling everyone, this is my favorite piece of information that I've learned in like the past year, is that in 1985, some people did a study to try and find out how much people misestimated the amount of time it would take them to do something. And they came to the conclusion that anything you want to do will probably, on average, take 2.71 times as much time as you think it will.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So I made my rule of thumb 3. It's like it's gonna take 3 times as long.
Yeah. That's a good statistic, good average to keep in mind. So in case the things take long and you're like, well, great job.
Yeah, absolutely. But also, when you're working on prioritizing and scheduling, which I know is also an issue for you, or writing your to-do list for the day or the week.
I would say I could use some help with like setting intentions better. It's like I'll set my intentions for the week. And then I'll go and like work throughout the week, and I get a lot done, but it's not, sometimes I don't even touch the stuff on that list because I'm like, I was just like in a little dreamland trying to do that. Whereas I could be really like, laser focusing, but I'm like, how do you do that? And I'm like, I just keep trying anyway. And I'm like, I just do what I end up doing, but it's not terrible. It's not the worst system in the world, but I'm like, this could be better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, can I ask what sort of intentions you set? Like, can you give me an example?
Yeah, like last week I set the intention of writing thank you notes to past clients, and I just like never got around to it. Or I made an intention of creating a workbook to like accompany like a sort of a lead magnet, but also to accompany a 5-day workshop though that I haven't even done. Like I haven't done the 5-day workshop. So that one I look back and I'm like, girl, like why would you wait? You can wait on that one. The thank you notes. I know I have a block with talking to my clients individually and like it's not even sales tactics, but things that like what I would consider marketing, like things I'm like doing. So I'm like, I want to maintain a good relationship, but then I guess I feel like I'm being inauthentic because it's like, oh, I wasn't going to write it, even though I love them and I'm thinking thank you notes. I just, yeah.
Okay. So, right. So I had 3 thoughts while you were talking.
Love it.
So 2 about the thank you notes. First of all, you set the intention. Did you put it in your calendar? Did you be like, at 3:00 on Tuesday, I'm going to write thank you notes?
Wow, no, I didn't do that. Okay. Next.
So
I like that.
I'm always telling people, like, I bump into someone in the grocery store and they go, hey, can you send me the phone number for that coach you recommended? And I say, yes, if you text me. So it's in my phone, and then I will copy it into my to-do list. And they're like, no, I just asked one thing, just remember it. If you don't, get around to it when you can. I'm like, there is no get around to it, and I can when I can. If it's written down, it'll happen. And if it's not written down, it won't. Like, this is how I work. I'm a slightly more structured person than you are. But I have that structure because I know I need it.
Right.
So intentions are beautiful, but the next step after having intentions is to make them a plan.
Intentions to plan. Yes. Yes.
And a plan works even better if it's, I don't even remember the acronym, SMART, specific, measurable. Like, so if your intention is write thank you notes, then I would maybe write, make a block of time in my calendar and have, write a thank you note or write 5 thank you notes to my most recent clients or my oldest clients. Like try and make it really specific while you're sitting and doing your planning and your dreaming, so that when the time comes, there's no distractions. You just like have your task ready to go.
Yeah. Just get set up, get prepared. It also keeps coming back up for me. I'm like, I just need to prepare for the things that I'm trying to do. Like I just kind of keep thinking I'll just do it. Because I do a lot of things, but like not the I gotta, time to focus. Time to focus.
Yeah, because you're such a like go with the flow, like basically.
Yes.
You just kind of
I
feel
love the
what's right
flow.
and you want to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all love the flow. That's not true. There are people who do not love the flow, but most of us love the flow. But in your case, there's so much flow that you need to give it a little bit of boundaries, because there's like the story about the Grand Canyon, that like if you have a ton of water that's just covering some ground, then you basically have like a lake. But if you have water that's going through a very narrow space, there's going to be a ton of pressure and a ton of power, and it'll be enough to carve out the Grand Canyon. I ruined that story. That's a beautiful, beautiful story, but
I get it. I mean, I think about water too, especially since you told me that I'm half water. I'm like, cool.
Yeah, you're water and fire.
Water and fire. I think about that all the time now. I try to like keep my fire stoked, active, like, like stirring it around. And I try to like listen to the water and what it needs, doesn't freak out and take over everything and flood my fire.
I'm so happy to hear that. Like I just love hearing that.
Yeah, I really do love it. Yeah, I think a lot of things have happened, but I am less stressed than I was last time we talked. That's what I'll say.
I'm so glad to hear it. And you look less stressed. Like your face is more relaxed than when we spoke last, I think.
That's been the goal. Oof.
For sure. Okay. Other things that came up for me. Is you said I'm staying on thank you notes for the moment. You have like a block with sending thank you notes to your clients because it feels inauthentic. So I'm assuming it feels inauthentic because you're like, I'm only sending the notes because they're clients and I wouldn't be doing this otherwise. And therefore it's like businessy marketing. So what if you just turned yourself into a person who sends thank you notes?
And everybody all the time?
Well, no, but not necessarily everyone all the time, but say you want to send thank you notes to 3 clients, and send 1 or 2 or 3, like whatever number feels doable to you, to other people, to one of your teachers or a friend.
Yeah. And, that actually just sparked like a super easy way to do this too, because it's like, I think also the mail, like the physical mail, I have like a little bit of a block there because like you have to like get the stamp and you have to ask someone for their address, and it's like
I have been traumatized by the Israeli Postal Service, so yes, email is great.
Email is great, and
messages, phone calls.
I have these cute little gratitude note things that I found from my mom's stuff, and I just like kept them like for no reason, but I could just write a little handwritten note and like take a picture of it, and like I feel like that would be nice, and I could do that with my friends, and I want to anyway. So I'm like, I'm not gonna just carry these around anyway. I've been wondering what to do with those. So this is a very extremely useful link. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, great. I'm sorry, someone is ringing my doorbell. I told everyone I was recording right now, so they're just gonna have to wait. Okay, and then the other thing that came up is you said that you set an intention to do something that you didn't actually really need to do that week. And so I'm listening to this coach that I'm really enjoying her podcast. I cannot for the life of me remember her name, Stacy something, but I will put a link in the show notes and I'll send it to you in case you're interested. But one of the things that she says is that content creation is often something we do when we're not feeling like we're actually up to dealing with clients.
I can see that.
Like, you know.
I love that. That's funny. It's like a distraction.
Yeah, it's like a distraction that feels totally productive.
Yeah. Wow. Well, luckily I haven't created that much content. So good job, Kara. I always like realize I'm like, I don't need to be doing this. This is like not the thing. So that's I'm glad that I have that in there or something. But then I just do nothing. So I don't know if it's like that good, but at least I'm not creating content.
Absolutely. You're one step closer.
So close to doing the thing that I need to do.
Then you would be if you were distracting yourself. Yeah.
It's true. It's true. Because then you post it and then you get like validation on it. If people like it, and I'm like, oh my God, this is what I should be doing because we're external validation. So wow, content creation. That's a little bit of a trap. Okay. Huh. Yeah. I knew it.
I would not say never create content because that's literally what I'm here with you doing right now.
But right. No, I love it. I love content to consume it, to create it.
Exactly. But having it be in its correct place of priorities and like
right.
First priority, probably not. The first priority should be, you know, your clients or
talk to people.
Yeah. Actual real people. Step away from the screen unless you're looking at another person on the screen. Yeah, I know. All of this like talk to people, get away from the screen needs to be updated for 2020 through 2022 because this is how I talk to people now.
I know. I'm trying to figure out like what that looks like for me too, because I want that to be part of what I coach people with. It's like millennials, especially like we grew up with the technology, we grew up with the screen.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit like insane, the relationship that we have. So we got to be like, okay, what are the boundaries here? Like, what are my values? Like literally all of that, just checking in, but like in that relationship, but this relationship.
Yes.
Things to think about. So much. What an exciting frontier. That's what I think about all the time. I'm always like, wow, things are about to just change so much, even more.
Absolutely.
Gotta meditate, otherwise I'll lose my mind.
Absolutely. Meditate, connect to your water,
keep
up with your lists. But
my lists, yeah. Amazing. Oh yeah, the list of 30 dreams.
I feel like we distracted you from that pretty well though.
Yeah, no, I was gone. I was like, right, like, oh my God, set a plan, SMART goals. Yes, I knew this. You're right. That's what we need. We do need distraction. But just like productive distraction.
Yeah. I think we need inspiration.
More than distraction. Reminders like, hey, you're doing great.
Yes.
Get back to it.
Absolutely. How are
what
you
else
feeling?
I'm like struggling with? I'm good. I feel like I am like bursting in a good way. I'm like, okay, like there's some stuff that I can do differently. I can change. And I'm like, what else do I got? I'm like, I got Hava for like another however many minutes. I'm like, what do I got?
We can always talk again, and you can always message me too. If you feel like you are full, I don't necessarily want to dump more on you and like dampen down the flame.
Yeah, I will hold on to I have I got to get like my priorities, my passions, what was the word that you used first? Values.
I said values. Yeah, I know it's a scary word for some of us.
It is for some. I think so too. And I'm like, for a long time, people would ask like, what do you value? And I'm like, I don't even like know what. Can you give me a list and a multiple choice? Like, I'll let you know.
Okay, so just so you know, you can totally get that list. Literally. And this is like the first time I made a list of values. That's how I did it because I like structure. So I went online and I went, can I have a list of values, please? And Google served one up. And I went through and I was like, okay, so these 60 are totally irrelevant to me. And then I had them in a little face off, like football, family versus responsibility to the community. Which one would win? until I narrowed it down to what seemed like a reasonable number to keep in mind.
That's a tough one. Yeah, I will look at that, because I'm like half in this, I like half appreciate now that I have like this inner wisdom and I have all the answers and I can just like meditate and access them. But then the other half is just like we also have like infinite information from other people that have also like wondered these questions, and like they're just like me but in a different like whatever. And so that's just like cool. I want to marry them and
Absolutely.
find the balance.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love the idea of like taking advantage of other people's work. Yeah.
That's the
Like,
point.
don't
Don't
reinvent the
reinvent the
wheel.
wheel. Yeah,
Exactly.
precisely.
All right. Well, I feel that we've reached a point of like mind meld, which maybe indicates that I have transferred to you what I need to transfer.
I think so too.
And I really don't want to overwhelm you because I feel like I've given you like 5 things to do.
Yeah. No, but it was good. And like I feel like I got my takeaway: identify values, like be prepared, prepare yourself for your intentions. And I'm gonna just like those 2 sentences, and I won't focus on anything else for a minute, and then I'll keep the water down, because probably like, I think it's getting a little turbulent. It's like, what's going on?
you want to constrain my flow, really?
True. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, you're right. Good call. Thank you so much. Seriously, amazing.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to find how I stop recording because I literally haven't used Zoom in 8 hours and I've forgotten everything. There we go. Okay, so real quick, don't forget to like and subscribe, even though this is a totally different format. And
Yes.
I will be back with another video next week. Thank you so much.